fly fish till the day that I die. Spring has thawed out the long bitter winter. The water is clear and the skies are blue. I'm standing in the middle of the Beaver Kill River. Might even capture and release one or two. Well, some folks like horses, cats or dogs. Me, I like fishing with a rod and a fly. Yes, fishing is a favorite pastime of mine. If I couldn't do it, I think I would cry. Well, life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Trout is rising in the far eddy. I make a false cast, then take my aim. If he takes the fly, I feel so much better. And if he doesn't, I'll feel no shame. Stoneflies and caddis and the riffles are plenty. Mayflies courting on fragrant breeze. And cedar wax wings come down from the heaven, wait for their dinner up in the pine trees. The water is cold and my waders leak, and it's raining now on my favorite stream. I'll bear it all, just fish with a feather, so when I sleep I will have a sweet dream. And life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Oh, ripples and waves, pools and eddies, trout are rising for the mayfly. And the sun is shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fishing till the day that I die. Yes, I hope to be a fly fishing till the day that I die. Hey folks, how you doing? Curtis Mayfly here for Riffles and Waves, and this is the first show of season 6 in the year 2008. So we've done a lot of shows for the last 6 years. I've been trying to do 20 shows each season, and so far I plan on doing that again. And the first show, which is this show, is I have a video coming up here soon about Trout Unlimited and how important it is to take part in Trout Unlimited and be a member of a chapter and be an active member. Go to the meetings and partake in activities. That's more important than just sending your money. So if you want to join Trout Unlimited, feel free to do so at the end of the show. Just go to tu.org and look at their website and you can join. But again, my name's Curtis Mayfly, and I have a website, and I have an email address. So I would like you to take part in this show by asking me questions about fly fishing in general. But if you have questions about spin fishing or ice fishing, I've got an ice fishing rod right up there. If you are interested in all types of fishing, I don't mind. I'll answer any questions I can, and if I can't answer the question right off, I will research it and look it up, and I will bring that information back to you on this show. So take part in my show, and all you have to do is go to send an email to avkurt@mac.com, and I'll respond to you with an email, plus I'll respond to your question on this show. So I hope you are using this show as a resource to learn more about fishing and learn more about fly fishing even. So I'm primarily going to be talking about fly fishing, and most of the topics I cover will be fly fishing. Why fly fishing? Well, that's what I do. I fly fish. I do have some spinning rods around here somewhere, and I use them once in a while. But primarily I'm out there with the fly rod, casting a dry fly. Nymph fishing is subsurface flies, as we will learn more about those in a couple of shows. We'll be tying some hare's ear nymphs, bead heads and just regular ones, and I will go over how to tie those, and that's about the all-time best fly you could possibly use is a hare's ear nymph. It's the only one you really need in different colors, and it works in all situations. But we'll also be doing some caddis flies, and we'll be doing some dry flies. Here I have a little parachute sulfur, and real nice little fly there. So we'll be covering those techniques in the first few shows. We'll be doing primarily fly tying. Why? It's winter out, snow's falling, it's piling up out there. There's nothing better to do on a cold winter night or winter's day is to sit and tie some flies, thinking of spring. Fly fishing is a year-round sport, and it's one of the ways that I partake in this hobby all year round is by I tie flies, I read books. Here's a new book, Hatch Guide to New England Trout Streams. By reading books, tying flies, and making rods or whatever you do, you actually become a better fly fisher. Occasionally I'll take a drive in the wintertime down to the Catskills, and you'll see spring holes and things on the side of the banks where there's ice coming out. That gives you a clue as to where there might be colder water in the summertime. So it's a year-round sport, and you can learn all year round. You don't just go out for a couple of weeks in the spring and call it a day. Fly fishing is a year-round sport. But next week's show I'll be talking about materials and tools for fly tying. Down the road I'll be getting into doing nymphs, probably hare's ear nymph. Then I'll be on show 4, I'll be doing caddis flies. We'll be talking about caddis, and I have some really great video of a caddis hatch down on the Delaware, which I'll probably put in there. And show 5 will be dry flies, and we'll be covering dry flies. My favorite type of fishing is dry flies. And subsurface fly fishing is about 95% of the trout's diet. So if you really want to catch a lot of fish, you got to have some nymphs and wet flies. But me, I wait for that premier time where they're rising to dry flies, and that's my fun. And I'll be showing a video of Rick's place with the brown drake hatch up on Skinny Atlas Lake. That's pretty awesome. Show 6, I'll be talking about. Show 6 will be, I'll have a guest fly tyer. Mike Bukowski will be here. And actually, I went down to his cabin down on the main stem of the Delaware in Calhoun, and I videotaped him tying 5 or 6 flies. And he will, if you watch, you want to make sure you watch that show, because he gives us some techniques to tie flies very fast. And they're good flies, and they're useful flies. They're flies that you're going to be using all the time. In fact, I have some of them right here. This is an Isaniki with the regular dun. Oh man, that's a beautiful fly. Those are beautiful flies. And here's some little parachute. Oh, that's a comparadun. Well, a haystack really. And yeah, he put some haystacks in there and some Isanikis. And then I got some nymphs here from him. So I got a bunch of flies from Mike. And if you don't tie flies yourself, go to rainbowsensflies.com and check out his website, because he ties some really good flies, and he's a really good fly tyer, very good friend of mine, and I know you'll enjoy watching that show number 6. show 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11 and 12 will all be featuring different films on different subjects that I've collected over the years. We may be going out to Lyle to a bog, on a bog visit. Why a bog? Because bogs are important to trout. It cleans this water, and it's old growth forest. We'll be visiting an old growth forest, Salt Springs State Park. We're going to be talking about forest succession and why it's important to protect forested areas is because it takes so long for that succession to return from a grassland, a clear-cut field, to a forest. Takes many, many years. And old growth forests are important to trout. From there, I don't know where I'm going to go. So again, we got a lot of exciting things coming up this year. I got a Trout Waters Youth Camp that's going to be down on the banks of the Delaware in Hale Eddy area. That's for 14 to 17-year-old kids, and I have a website for that. And there's a link on my website that will get you to the Trout Waters website. We're only taking 12 kids, and there is a selection process, so you want to check that out if you really want to learn how to fly fish. It's a whole week of intense fly fishing. But we got a lot of things coming up this year. We got our Kids Derby, we got the TU Banquet, we got our cleanup in April, all the regular stuff. I'll be doing fly tying at Gander Mountain late in January, so get over to Gander Mountain and look at the schedule there, and you'll be seeing when I'm going to be there to do some fly tying in the Gander Lodge. So we got a lot of cool things coming up, and I look forward to being here for this season and taking you on a fly fishing journey, and we'll go there together. That should be good enough.
A remote pond in the Adirondack Park. A classic Catskill stream. Lake Ontario, the Finger Lakes, and their many tributaries. The Hudson and Delaware River drainages. All of these scenes are part of New York State's great fishing heritage. New York State is somewhat unusual in that there is a wide variety of fishing habitat available within a few hours' drive of a major metropolitan center. Many acres of excellent trout water, in fact, have been created through the development of the system of reservoirs that provides New York City with drinking water. In recent years, however, population growth and land development has sometimes limited public access to certain streams. Acid rain deposition continues to plague our mountain lakes and ponds. Poor farming practices have contributed to siltation and stream bank erosion. And toxic contamination, as well as non-point source pollution, is a continuing blight. What can we do to help preserve our precious waters, to maintain and develop fisheries for ourselves and future generations? The New York State Council of Trout Unlimited is addressing this question. Trout Unlimited was founded by a small group of Michigan anglers concerned by the declining quality of trout fishing in that state's Osable River. From this modest beginning in 1959, the volunteer organization has expanded to a national level with over 400 chapters and 65,000 members nationwide. New York State is currently one of the largest state councils with almost 6,000 members as of September 1989. Let's consider a few examples of what Trout Unlimited has done to help preserve and enhance New York's fishing heritage. Through cold water releases from the Pepacton and Cannonsville reservoirs, the east and west branches, as well as the main stem of the Delaware River, provide some of the finest wild trout habitat in the eastern United States. Trout Unlimited has been instrumental in negotiating adequate water releases and is continuing work to refine this release schedule to ensure preservation and growth of this great fishery. The New York State Council is also actively fighting proposals to chlorinate portions of the Groton watershed that are inhabited by trout. Trout Unlimited continues to aid the State Department of Environmental Conservation through recommendations regarding state acquisition of stream easements, the establishment of special regulations fishing areas, and the construction of angler parking and access areas. Trout Unlimited has actively supported the concept of ethical fishing, such as limiting one's catch to what will be immediately consumed. The New York State Council has annually sponsored a statewide trout forum so that anglers may gather in a social setting to share information. Trout Magazine is published 4 times annually by the National Office. It is sent free of charge to all Trout Unlimited members and contains articles on various aspects of trout fishing by well-known authors. An old adage states that the whole is only as strong as its individual parts. And this is certainly true of the New York State Council of Trout Unlimited. Much of Trout Unlimited's mission statewide is carried out at the local level by individual Trout Unlimited chapters. Although there is some variation from chapter to chapter, most meet on a once or twice monthly basis. Many chapter meetings feature programs of general interest, such as a guest speaker, a video or slide presentation, or a live demonstration. Trout Unlimited chapters have been involved in many aspects of habitat development and maintenance. Greenbelting, or limiting traffic and cultivation along each bank of a stream, is an effective means of reducing bank erosion. Greenbelting is often accompanied by the planting of willows or similar well-rooted plants that will help stabilize the stream bank. Sometimes the placement of a more extensive structure, such as a pool digger, is necessary to provide oxygenation and cover for trout. Stream cleanups are an excellent way for a chapter to improve the aesthetic quality of a fishery. Needless to say, the cleanups go a long way to enhance the image of fishermen with respect to local landowners. Trout Unlimited chapters play an important role in the community by providing information on local environmental issues and by sponsoring clinics on various aspects of angling, such as rod building or fly tying. Many chapters work directly with local school systems and with youth groups such as the Boy Scouts and 4-H. Trout Unlimited is firmly committed to working with young people. If we can instill a sense of pride and responsibility for the environment in successive generations of fishermen, we can ensure the perpetuation of high-quality sport fishing. How can you help preserve New York's fishing heritage? It's easy. If you are currently a Trout Unlimited member, don't be a deadhead. Get involved. Help out with your chapter's banquet. Help out with raffles and other fundraisers. Take part in community education projects. Get your feet wet with a stream cleanup. Teach a kid to fish. Or show up for your club's annual fishing day. If you are not currently a Trout Unlimited member, we hope that this presentation will be an inspiration to join us. Membership in Trout Unlimited can give you access to the latest information concerning equipment, fishing conditions, and fishing techniques that can make you a better fisherman. But the real reward of membership is the knowledge that you're helping to protect and to enhance a fine fishing heritage, and to preserve this heritage for future generations. This has been a production of the New York State Council of Trout Unlimited.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.